Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, and I'm back with my plans and pans. Well, last week was another big question mark. Are we going to move toward a shutdown? Are we going to get some sort of an agreement? And once again, the Democrats agreed that we would set another date to kick the can down the road. And it looks like that's just going to be on the 8th of March. Will be the next vote on what we believe will be 6 bills that we hope to pass. It looks like an agreement was reached with the Republicans. The consequence of shutting down the government would mean the airports, for example, would be in total chaos, including the air traffic controllers who would not be paid. That funding for nutrition programs could disappear. It's a total disaster to have a shutdown, and it means that many federal employees simply don't get paid. So I am hopeful that on the 8th, we're going to make the first step to really do the budget from last year, and we are hoping that we're going to get it done. Last week, I had the privilege of meeting with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra. I've known him for a long time. He was in the House of Representatives, and I served with him. And there were a small number of members of Congress and some advocates, mainly there to talk about Medicare Advantage. I've talked to you about this many times. Those of you, and now 51% of people on Medicare have Medicare Advantage. But I have to tell you, it's often Medicare Disadvantage. It's not really Medicare. It's private insurance. And so I raised a couple of issues that are very important. One of them is that when you are on Medicare Advantage, often those companies deny or delay care if you really get sick. And it either takes the doctor to fight with Medicare Advantage, or sometimes the care is just not there. So that was the one issue that I was very concerned about, that we have to make sure that Medicare Advantage, as long as it continues, has to provide the care that they promise. The second issue I raised was how hard it is to get off of Medicare Advantage. So what we're saying is, and I am now part of legislation that would say, if you're going on to the traditional Medicare from Medicare Advantage, that you have to be allowed to get the supplemental insurance that you need when you need it. So we're working to make this right. The other thing I've told you many times is that the government, that we, the taxpayers, are overpaying Medicare Advantage to the tune of really billions of dollars every year. They are charging more than we pay for traditional Medicare. And if we were just to take some of that money back, then Medicare itself could provide for hearing care and dental care and eye care. And so I'm in this fight to make sure that Medicare is the best. It is a wonderful program, but it's the best that can be, and it can serve everyone and all of their needs. I was part of a hearing on rare diseases. There are actually a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people, who have rare diseases, and it's very hard to get the care they need. When I was there, I was focusing on ALS. I have a very good friend, he became a friend, Brian Wallach, and his wife, Sandra, who live in the 9th Congressional District, who actually live in Evanston, where I live. And Brian has ALS. He has formed a group called I Am ALS. And this is a very complicated disease. It gets misdiagnosed very often. One of the things that could really help the 30,000 plus Americans who have ALS are these ALS clinics that have multidisciplinary care, meaning because it's a complicated disease that they talk to professionals from all aspects of this disease. And so I asked one of the witnesses who was a special expert on this, and he said that this would actually make a very important difference to extend the life of people with ALS. Back in the district, I was able to go to Harper College, to their Learning and Career Center, which is in Prospect Heights, Illinois, which is part of the district. It is one of the centers that they have for Harper College. It's a wonderful, wonderful institution. We saw the work training center that they have. We saw many students in classrooms that are getting certification for jobs that they want to do, academic study. It's mostly focused in this particular location on career. It was especially interesting to me to talk to the wonderful president of Harper College, Dr. Avis Proctor. She talked about the importance of accessibility and affordability to an education for all people. And they really do a great job. One of the things I saw there at the center was that they have a daycare center. It's open till 8:30 at night. So if there are evening students, parents who want to come and study, they can have their children with them. There is also a food pantry. No questions asked. You walk in and you can take the food that you need and you can take a bag home with you. So this idea of doing education, but also accessibility and affordability, I think is so important. And Harper College is doing all of those things. It was great to be there. So you know, I am a huge supporter of Social Security, and we have a couple of offices within the 9th Congressional District. But this time, for the first time, I visited the office in Mount Prospect and met with the district manager, Elizabeth Williams. The place was packed. They have so many people, as you can imagine, who have all kinds of questions about Social Security disability, about their Social Security payments, how to enroll, those kinds of things. Very, very important. And she does a great job, and I met with a number of her staffers that are there. But one thing is clear, Social Security does not have enough staff. You probably experienced some of it yourself. It's certainly a heck of a lot better than it was during COVID, but still, one of the issues that I am determined to address is that getting more funding for Social Security to make sure that all of the millions and millions of Americans who rely on that. But the other thing I want to say, if you are having trouble with Social Security, in addition to going to those regional offices, call my office. Call the Schakowsky office. And we have fabulous staff. Mary Beth Stein, who is my staff for issues dealing with Social Security, is a miracle worker. So check out the website, get the phone number, call us, and we can help as well. Well, one of the really fun things that my husband Bob and I did at the end of the week was to go to a farewell party for a fabulous Chicagoan, and that is Tom Skilling, who for 45 years has been telling us the weather. He's a meteorologist in the Chicago area. He's a fabulous person. He is beloved in Chicago. But let me tell you one of the things I like best about him. Tom Skilling, as a meteorologist, knows that we are facing a climate crisis right now. We have to deal with global warming, and we need to tell people the truth. And Tom does that. So when it's 70 degrees in the middle of a Chicago winter, And, sometimes you hear from the weatherman, well, go out, it's a beautiful day, it's going to be warm. What Tom Skilling will tell you is, why is this happening? He'll tell you the cause. Every day he'll tell you the cause of the weather that you are experiencing. But he especially is concerned about making sure that people are concerned and are willing to do what it takes to fight the global warming. So I am going back to Washington. I am anxious to get the job done to make sure that there is no shutdown and that we are filling out the United States budget. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.